Okay. Oh, good afternoon. Here is our last session of this series of taking ownership of our well-being through the principles of core alignment and focusing on movement. So this will be a wind-up session, and it should be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is our last one. It's been we've now made it through all of the different seasons as I think of them. And so we're going to start with the question, and the question for today is, what is one of your favorite songs? So my name is Lynn, and I am in Calgary, Alberta, and one of my favorite songs, well, the first one that popped up is the one that's, I can see clearly now, the rain is gone.
Yeah, we're
So
singers.
I don't know who that is, but that's the song. I could probably sing it. So how about you, Dawn Marie?
Oh boy, I have a lot of them, but the one that comes to my mind is by the Staple Singers called I'll Take You There.
Cool. Cool. How about you, Olive?
I think my favorite is Let It Be by the Beatles.
Yep. So you gotta say a name, say where
I'm
you
supposed
are.
to say who I am. I'm Olive,
Yeah,
and I'm in Walker Lake, Saskatchewan.
There is a reason why we do that every time, because it kind of locates.
Are you going to share the reason?
It invites us into the circle, number one, or into the space.
Oh, okay.
But it is a way that we recognize other people by saying our name, saying where we are, and going with the first thing that pops up.
Answering
and
that.
then this is how our minds work, is we start to associate that, it's like how our brain gets programmed, really, is through it's a neuro-linguistic practice is what it is. And it's a rapport building question to help us. It actually calms the subconscious mind, which can be sometimes, right? Our subconscious is often sort of on guard, and it likes information. It likes to know what's happening, and it's a way to calm it, and in a gentle way without being confrontational, or so. It builds trust, builds rapport. Yeah. Anyways. So Dawn Marie, yours was?
I'm Dawn Marie, and I'm in Sacramento, California. And the name of my song is called I'll Take You There by the Staple Singers.
I'll take you. Awesome. And Olive?
My name's Olive. I'm in Walker Lake, Saskatchewan, and my favorite song is Let It Be by the Beatles.
And how about you, Lorraine?
I'm Lorraine, and I'm in Lake, British Columbia, the East Kootenays. And my favorite song, I woke up the other morning singing it. It's a beautiful day today. I don't know, there were several artists that sang it, and I think
yeah.
Olive, are you frozen? Yeah, she just seems to be frozen.
She looks, yeah, I can hear her. There we go. So we are going to be looking at this concept of a theme song. Our intention for our conversation today is to support each other around hearing a song or a theme song in our lives. As you know, we've been, as we've been working with movement and what gets us moving and what it is that really gets us moving. So we're going to look at motivation. So what does motivation mean to you, Lorraine?
What does motivation means to me? I think it's an exciting feeling to be motivated. It just perks up the mind, and you plan, and it's to me, it's a very exciting feeling.
Cool, cool. And what does it mean to you, Olive?
Motivation for me tends to come from outside. Some people are self-motivated. I need outer stimulation to be motivated, and music is one of the things that does motivate me.
Cool. How about you, Dawn Marie?
Motivation to me means putting myself in the position to do something that I should be doing. Sometimes or for me, like this weekend, sitting around doing nothing, and I felt a little guilty about doing nothing. But I had to really tell myself, this is a part of my self-care, and it motivates me to be the best that I can be going into this new week. So it gives me kind of like a jump start into doing something that I want to do.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, when I think of motivation, I think of action. I think of things that kind of, when I'm turned on in the sense like I'm excited about what I'm doing. And so we're going to be looking at motivation because that's really what gets us moving often. And sometimes action, well, I heard this saying, maybe I shared this in another call, but action precedes motivation. So what else can you do when you are really motivated? Dawn Marie?
Well, 3 days a week, I go and work out with a coach at her gym. And some Monday mornings, it's really a struggle to get there. But if I just get up and put my workout gear on and set my time for me to leave, once I get there, it's like it's on. I'm ready to do my workout. I had to prep myself to get there. So it's putting all of that effort into place in order for me to get the return on it at the end.
Got it. How about you, Olive? What are some
Repeat
things?
that question again.
Yeah, what are some things you can do when you are motivated?
Well, the first thing that I thought of was exercise, and I am not good at a self schedule. I like to be in a program where I am accountable to other people to show up. So exercise, I guess, would be the short answer to that.
Yeah. How about you, Lorraine?
What does action or what
What are some
I do?
things you can do when you're motivated?
I can do. I was just kind
Yeah.
of analyzing your statement. You said that action precedes motivation.
Yes, isn't that interesting?
It's a very interesting point of view, but my point of view is my action. I get motivated, then I do action, and the things I can do is put out a plan and write down what I'm going to do and get all the parts together and focus on the action. So that's my point of view.
Yeah, well, it is interesting. When I heard I heard it in the exercise program that I'm doing, and they have a saying of the day, and that's what he was saying, that action precedes motivation, not the other way around. And I went, okay. But then I kind of thought of it, well, sometimes I might not be motivated, but if I just take a little bit of an action, all of a sudden I've got more energy or something. I don't know, even if it's just putting one foot in front of the other rather than just sitting. If I just anyways. So some of the things that I can do when I am motivated, well, often if it's like that, I often can move through my doing very quickly without taking too much time and not having to have it be a struggle or have too much thought. It's like it just comes naturally easy and I'm not having to kind of effort. So what's it like to be with someone that is motivated? Olive?
For me, to be with someone who is motivated is sometimes quite annoying. Um, if I'm not sharing that motivation, yeah, can be annoying.
Got it. Got it. What's it like for you, Marie, to be with someone?
It inspires me to, get myself going. And I'm laughing because I am usually the one who gets people excited. And I felt like, okay, it's my mission to make people feel the best that they can be. But when I heard Olive's response, I was like, well, maybe I am being annoying by being so excited to get them motivated.
How about you, Lorraine?
Yes, there's always two sides to the story. Well, I get excited when I'm motivated. I feel, that I I feel that I'm alert and I'm interested and I've got things to do. Um, when I'm not motivated, I just sit and look at nature or sleep or something. So
Yeah, yeah. I kind of agree with sort of all of Endon. Like there's times when I'm with somebody who's really motivated and it can get me going. And but then sometimes I'm just like, ugh, back off. I just need to do nothing, right? So it is an interesting thing to look at it. I think we are all motivated in
Yeah.
different ways. Yeah. So, well, let's just remember this is our last one. We have spent the last 10 weeks together, and we want to hear it in a song. And so we looked at walking in Disney's shoes. What else did we do? We walked through this levels of mastery, and we looked at what was possible as we keep moving. And we discovered and declared our stories and the stories that we tell and what gets us moving when we think of that. And we looked at our guards and we looked at our gatekeepers, and we actually looked at shortcuts to support ourselves in recognizing them more quickly. And what else did we do? We, well, if we think of all those things of where we've been over the last 10 weeks, there's a beat that you might be hearing or perceiving. And it keeps showing up. And it is what keeps our feet moving. So what might that be for you guys now? So we'll go, Dawn Marie. What theme song is playing in your head?
I'm gonna go with the Beatles, Let It Be. Because if I stop and think about these past 10 weeks, I've been inspired, I've been excited, I've been motivated, I've just been a number of things to get here for this 30 minutes of time. But in the process of me getting here, I had to just say, you know what, I'm just gonna let it be. Whatever is to be will be.
Cool. How about you, Olive?
I'm going to go with a song that came into my head midway through, and that was Kenny Rogers' Know When to Hold 'Em, Know When to Fold 'Em.
Yeah, that one was kind of playing a little too calm.
Yeah, that has just been playing through my head ever since I had that thought.
Yeah. How about you, Lorraine?
what song that I can sort of summarize the whole 10 weeks, not being very musical. And I I remember maybe one line of a song. I don't know the words of the rest of the song, and sometimes I don't really remember the tune. So I'm kind of not a musical minded person that have songs running through my head. But I just remember the song that I thought of this week about It's a Beautiful Day Today. That's all I can go with.
Can you sing it?
No, I can't. Can you sing it? You know,
I
have
don't
you ever
know.
heard us sing? We don't
We'll
sing.
have to look. It's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day today.
Is
I
is
don't know the words.
it the Mr. Rogers song? It's a
Well,
beautiful day in the neighborhood?
We'll have to
No,
look it up.
yeah, it's a different
Yeah.
artist played it, sang it, but
Mm.
Randall found it on his music list, and he's ended up playing it all, for me, and I had the tune in my head all day, but
Well, and it's interesting. So as we go through our lives, we're going to be moving in different directions, and that theme song may show up again. And our theme song may change as we go through,
Yes. Mhm.
right? And so we're just playing here and kind of looking at what might be beneficial to play, when it might be beneficial to play a theme song as you move forward in your life and what you got going on this summer. So what is your theme song again, Lorraine?
it's a beautiful day today.
Okay. Olive?
Are you asking for another
No,
theme song?
no, just whichever one is popping.
Well, yeah, it's with me, it's been Kenny Rogers, The Gambler.
Yeah, yeah. And Marie?
For me, I'm going to stick with the one that I just said, which was Let It Be. I'm going on my cruise this week, and I've had to piece together my transportation, and it was very frustrating, but I got it done. But so just let it be, Dawn. Just let it be.
Yeah, let it be. Well, and because Madeline is not here, let's kind of bring her into the space because she's been sharing this with us. And I would imagine that her theme song might be, well, what pops up for you guys? If you were to pick a theme song for Madeline, what might that be? I know she's
Somewhere over
moving.
the rainbow.
Over the rainbow. There we go. Yeah, yeah. Well, our intention for our time today is to have you know how to keep yourself motivated and how to, notice your actions and what actions you're taking as you keep yourself motivated. So what will you take with you from this conversation that will support you until we talk again? Lorraine?
What will I take from this conversation until we talk again? I think it's been I can't believe it's been 10 weeks. And I think we've covered an awful lot. And I'm really going to have to go back and review all the videos of what we talked about just to bring it forth again. As I said, I was listening to last week's recording, and there's an awful lot that comes out of what we've been doing for the last 10 weeks.
And what would be one thing that from listening, what would you say? What is that?
I
What
think
comes up?
I think the fact that we can talk spontaneous or whatever comes to our first thing that comes to our mind. And when you were talking about introducing ourselves at the beginning and where we're from, I mean, it's a good practice, because even when you go into a crowd or if you're visiting, you can always say, my name is such and such, and shake their hands. I mean, I have a friend that does this all the time, and she introduced herself and she's welcoming, and it just, as I say, it calms the whole environment. No judgment. There's something there that just opens door for more possibilities.
Cool, yeah. How about you, Dawn Marie?
Well, for me, I would have to say what I will take away from this that will help support me until we meet again is, I've said it before, it's just staying open, because I didn't know that getting on this call for these past 2 months, or I mean, not 2 months, but for the past year, it seems like, has really been an eye opener for me. It's almost been like a 30-minute therapy session, which I think helps me to be better going forward in how I introduce myself, and staying motivated and not being so high up when I'm motivated, and recognizing people where they're at. And, if I'm too much, then to being too high in my motivation, then being aware of that, and also accepting people for who they are, and still being able to have some really transparent conversations with people, even if you don't know them. It's so enlightening. It's been fun.
Cool. How about you, Olive?
I think one of the things that I will take from these sessions is to think before I speak. I have a tendency to just blurt out the first thing that comes to my mind. And this session has taught me about the guardians and how to use them. So that's what will stick with me.
Awesome. Well, what I take away is, I remember Kate often saying, Kate was a brilliant teacher of this work. And she could give the information that made a difference. She had an ability to give the information, like I did at the beginning of the call, about why it works, what it is. And for myself, when I got into the work, I just trusted the process, and I just kept going with it, because I often would struggle with words and giving the information that makes a difference. So what I take with me is that, the information makes a difference. When we give more information, it helps relax the mind, and it helps so many things. And so that's kind of what I take away from this today and for the last 10 weeks. And what will you take with you that will support you for the rest of your life? Olive?
I think I will repeat what I said last week. I will remember these conversations and the words of wisdom of the ladies on my screen, and take that with me to support me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How about you, Lorraine?
What I'll take to support me the rest of my life. I think it's speaking from the first thing in your mind, and without being judged, and being accepted. The words you're accepted. There's no negative counterbalance to it, or why you criticism. It's just making everybody feel very authentic. And I think that's what and appreciate the caring and the love, and the connectiveness that a conversation can have. Get
Dawn
tear get emotional.
Yes, yes. Oh my gosh. What I will take away from this that will support me for the rest of my life is, trusting and believing that all things are possible. Because had I not trusted Lorraine when she invited me to get on these calls a year ago, I don't think I would have gotten the information that was downloaded from each one of these sessions. And I've gone back and listened to a few of the recordings too, and it's like, man, those are some powerful sessions that we've had for 30 minutes.
Yeah, cool. It's awesome. Well, what I will take with me that'll support me for the rest of my life is that anything is possible and that I can do anything if I set my mind to it, or maybe if I just take the step towards it. And
Mhm.
and I can trust myself more. And so I count this work to growing me in a way that I really would have never imagined. And I mean, maybe it's how it was supposed to be in the beginning. Like, you know, maybe it's all divine in some ways, but part of me knows that this has made such a difference. And so, anyways, I'm grateful. I feel grateful and fulfilled that I can share it and that I'm choosing to share it in a way, that may be different than how I received it. And, yeah, and there's always more. And these principles, processes, and practices can really be applied to anything. It's really about setting an intention, an intentional conversation, and having that structure around, you know, having an opening, having the body of the work, and then having a closing. And that is the essence of a coaching session in general, really, is to set an intention, have the body of the call, whatever it shows up, and to close it out. So it's really about just applying these principles, the practices, and the process of just setting the time and following it. So I appreciate you guys showing up, and there'll be more. And I do want to, I know that this has been going on, you know, since we began all of the modules, but wanted to share. This is a book that myself and Kate and a couple of other core alignment specialists put together. And this is really the principles and the practices, without the processes. But I do have some here, and it's just a matter of how to get them to you if you want one. But I'd have to mail it, and I know mailing right now is not as, anyways, I just wanted to show that if it is something you want, I'll have to get, you know, just follow through and get it in the mail for you.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
definitely. I'm interested, and let me know what the postage is and I'll pay the
okay,
postage. Yes.
Now,
okay.
do you have our emails? Is the emails are sent out in the notices lately? I've been
Yes,
sharing them, so
yeah,
you
so
can
I'll,
go,
yeah, so,
you can
yeah,
communicate
so
that way.
I'll,
Okay.